Hey, welcome to the Top Shelf Podcast. I'm your host Artimus, and today we are joined by uh, Kirstin here. And
Oh,
today we're going to be talking and discussing while we're playing Fortnite, because this is the only game apparently PlayStation allows to be cross-platform, except for Rocket League. But Rocket League's not that fun in my opinion. Anyways, today we're going to be discussing the brand new Avengers Endgame trailer that was released just this morning at the time of recording this. And yeah, it was Kirsten, if you could describe how you felt about the trailer in one word, what would it be?
um, it just makes me more excited. Like you get that feeling deep inside, like when you get excited before you're like going on a vacation or something. Like yeah, that type of thing.
So excited would be your word.
Yeah.
Uh I don't know what my word would be. Probably the same. Excited, I'm very excited for this. There was a lot of really good shots in this, and some stuff
Hmm.
that I question, which I'll probably bring up later. I don't really have a list of what to use. For everybody watching this, uh, we might just be playing like Fortnite and probably get distracted a lot and just talking about stuff. But later down in the future, I'm supposed to be starting work like next week. So as soon as I start working, I should be able to get some more money to possibly buy more stuff to be able to make this a little bit more like an actual podcast. Uh, and yeah, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and we won't just be talking about just Marvel and all that stuff on here. We'll also be talking about stuff like music with other people or video games with other people. It doesn't really matter. It'll just these videos on this channel are random, and I think you all know that by now. So yeah, um, yeah, you know, yeah, Kristen, I don't know if you saw this or not. Whoa, the island looks way different than last time I played.
Yep.
Anyways, I don't know if you noticed this. Did you notice that in the little corner, in the little hint, the tip box, it said you could ping items now?
Yeah, yeah. They're copying
Yeah, I
Apex.
was about to say that's straight from Apex. That's like the whole reason that makes Apex so good.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. If as soon as trust me, if I don't end up getting new equipment and Apex, is cross-platform by then, we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna play Apex instead of this. Even though I
Yeah.
do kind of like Fortnite to be able to just talk and stuff because I don't have to pay attention much in this.
That's for you to say.
Well, yeah, that's just for me. Anyways, um, yeah. So, I guess the one thing that's kind of on my mind right now, currently, is the quantum realm suits. How do you feel
Yeah,
about them?
they. I think they look nice. They look just like the leaked images.
Yeah, they look a lot like the leaked images. I wish they would have looked a little bit more like them though. Like on a lot of the leaks there was the inclusion of the logos on the shoulders, which I
Hmm.
kind of really wanted to see, and I feel like the logos on the chest are a little bit too small for my liking. I don't know. They're like a little bit too much like they're like a little too sleek, I guess you could say.
Too sleek.
Yeah, like you know how the Mark 50 of Iron Man's armors is, how it's so sleek, and that's just kind of its thing. It's super sleek. But then you have like the Mark 85 or Mark 51 or whatever it's going to be called. Uh,
Hmm.
it it has the sleekness, but it also still has that armor stuff that we know from an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, I also like how they did like a recap of like the previous movies,
Mm-hmm.
like an introduction type thing.
Yeah, and especially because see for the longest time as a kid, I always believed that the main characters of the MCU was uh, the Hulk, Iron Man, and Captain America, and also Thor. But that was because I always thought of Thor as kind of just like this side character. He's just he's really powerful and stuff. But I love after
Mm.
Ragnarok they're really pushing Thor as the Thor, Cap, and Iron Man as the big three, and kind of pushing Hulk out to the side. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind it. I mean, he doesn't really have a thing yet. Kinda.
Yeah.
He's just the army
Do
basically.
do you want Hulk to die in
No,
Endgame? Neither do I.
I don't want.
I think Hulk still has more potential. I don't think he should be used in a lot of movies. I think it'd be cool to have him maybe. I especially would love to see him stick around for a while at least, or even maybe
Mhm.
make Amadeus Cho the new Hulk from the comics. As much as I don't like that version of the comics right now, I'd be fine with it as long as we get to eventually maybe see a Wolverine versus Hulk fight, which is such a staple from the comics that I just love to see it.
Yeah.
And even if, say, they do kill off the Hulk, you could do, say, what I'm really expecting from the first Wolverine film to be mostly set in the past, kind of like Captain Marvel's movie.
There's people here, by the way.
Yeah, I saw them where they landed. But yeah, Captain Marvel was completely set in 1995. But poisons. Anyways, the how it took place all in 1995 was really, it kind of draws some points where you're like, oh, but where was she in, say, the Battle of New York? You know, like what? Oh, there's somebody coming. Good job.
Ah, I tried to get him to get that extra health. I couldn't finish him though.
But yeah, like it raises discussion on like where was she during the Battle of New York? Where was she during
Mhm.
Ultron? Why didn't Fury call her? Um, of course, now if you look back on it, Ultron doesn't seem as big of a threat, but it kind of still was because it kind of could have destroyed the world. But I mean that just means that like okay, whatever. Fury must have had like some huge faith in the Avengers back then. But
Mhm.
with say Wolverine, it'd be cool because like you could use Bruce Banner to just come out of nowhere and start and like say he's still having his like you know outbursts and stuff because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he doesn't become the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk if I do remember right. That we just kind of already know that he's been the Hulk. I might be wrong on that. I'm not too big of a fan of the Hulk, but anyways, uh, back to kind of what we were talking about earlier with the quantum realm suits. Uh, I like all of them on everybody except for one person. I find it a little bit odd. It still looks kind of cool, but like the the one person that I don't really like in the quantum realm suit is probably War Machine.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger than everybody's.
Yeah, because it seems like it seems like they're gonna be nanotech. I'm really banking on it's gonna be nanotech, and it kind of makes sense if like say they're just like they just kind of like just go over top of whatever they're wearing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird to see like say somebody like Tony who's not wearing the suit and he's just wearing like kind of like just like a normal like uh, skin tight spandex suit. But then you have somebody like War Machine who has this huge metal clunky armor with
Yeah.
this tight costume like just kind of over it. It's like not trying to offend anybody, but it's like an obese dude trying to wear like a like Spider-Man suit and thinking he's gonna
Yeah.
look just like Tony Stark or not Tony Stark, Peter Parker. Sorry, buddy, it's not gonna work like that. And I don't know, it just looks kind of weird. It'll probably grow on me. I really like the white and red color scheme.
I swear to God. Mm. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Everything's safe.
But yeah, I mean, I expect them to be cool. I hope they don't get too much screen time. Another thing about the quantum realm suits. So you already know, Kirstin, you already know about how much I don't like the fact that they're using so much of the quantum realm suits in the marketing and
Yeah.
merchandise. because it's kind of annoying. It gets a little bit annoying. Um, so, you know, by the way, I see somebody over to east.
Yeah, those people on top of the big house.
Do you want me to avoid them, or do you want me to?
I don't know. I just need to.
And they see me and they're trying to kill me now.
That's the guy who tried to kill me.
Oh, I got a shot on him. Anyways, yeah. So I was saying, oh, one thing that really bothers me, the best of the, like, you know, the best cheap figures they have so far in the Marvel toy industry is Marvel Legends. I mean, there's still the Diamond Select figures, which are like, I think they're like around $30, but they're like really limited on their posability. Marvel Legends is only like $20 per pop, and you get a little piece to build another figure for free.
Mm-hmm.
And this new wave for Endgame is really, really disappointing, because we only get 2 actual Endgame characters in it. We get Ronan in his actual costume, which looks really cool. Technically 3, actually, if you include the Build-A-Figure one. We get Ronan, and we get Captain America, but Captain America is in what? The Quantum Realm suit, not his cool-looking scale suit. And it makes me really upset, because, like, I mean, come on, like, I love Captain America. Captain America is my favorite character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I have the Infinity War Funko Pop. I have the 10-year anniversary Funko Pop, the gold one. I have like this. I have the Color Your Own Civil War thing. I have my own Captain America mask. I I have like the Winter Soldier stealth suit Captain America Marvel Legends. Also, who's this dude in our game?
He's a random.
Okay. I need to mute his mic real fast. Where is he? Boo boo boo. Are we playing on a different game mode?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we are. Okay. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, the whole crap, what was this thing? I lost track.
We're talking about the Captain America suit.
Oh yes, and yeah, it makes me really sad. And technically the third character from Endgame that we're getting is Build-A-Figure of Thanos in his I'm gonna say his gladiatorial armor because it looks very gladiator like esque. Basically his armor that he wore in Infinity War, but like the full thing that like he wore whenever he stormed the planet that Gamora's from. It looks super cool, and I'm pretty sure it comes with this big old butter knife weapon that he's getting in this film. So, yeah, it really excites me because, like, you know, Thanos is. I'm really excited because they're giving us like nothing about Thanos in this. Like is he
still gonna be like? I wonder how they're gonna make him in the movie. Like, are they gonna make him still like
I feel like
everything? Like, is he gonna try and stop them? That type of thing.
That's what I love about it. We don't know. It's really curious to see what Thanos' arc's gonna be like in this chapter, because like, you know, all leading up to this, he was so like set on doing what he did, and he did it. But well, what now? And like he seems like he wasn't too happy to do it, in all honesty, because he kind of had to give up the one thing that he loved. There's hoverboards now.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyways, you know, like he had to give up the one person that he actually kind of loved and cared about in this universe, and that was his daughter. And he had to give her up to get what he wanted, to get out what he wanted to do for all these years since she was a baby. To conquer the universe and to get rid of half its population. And it's really cool to see, you know, how, like, you could tell whenever he had that conversation with Baby Gamora in the Snow World or whatever, you could tell he was broken. You could tell that he did not really want to do it. he was like, yeah, like, you know, she was like, well, what did it cost? And he was like, everything.
Everything.
It's such an emotional scene, and Josh Brolin, he does such a good job of being Thanos that it's quite crazy. Like, you know, I'll say that his performance as Cable was probably pretty mediocre at best. Like it was good, but he just kind of came out. He was very comedic, which was to expect. But when he takes on those really dramatic style roles, like Thanos, he did such a good job to bring the emotion and make us really feel sympathy for what is the villain of the film.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like Ebony Maw and like all the rest of his goons, those were more like actual villains than Thanos himself was. Because like,
No, Alex, you should come up here.
Okay. But like, you know, he's not. How do I get off?
You get the capture.
Anyways, and the whole thing with Thanos is like, and if you look at him in the Endgame poster, he looks so sad and broken. Like, exactly, he has nothing. Like, all he has his farm and his garden, but that's about it. Now, I didn't end up bringing this up to you. I don't know if you heard about this, but did you hear about the leaked footage that was shown at the Disney stockholders meeting?
No.
Yeah, there was a stockholders meeting where they like showed footage for all their biggest upcoming movies. I think there was like Lion King, Star Wars, and Endgame. And the Endgame footage was apparently footage showing us. I'm pretty sure it starts out with like them just talking at Avengers HQ. I think they're talking to Captain Marvel, or Captain Marvel's there, and it's like Nebula is telling them about how she thinks she knows where Thanos is, and that apparently he might have gone to what is called his garden.
Yeah.
And then.
Hey Alex, can you get on your hoverboard? Oh god.
What is that?
You'll see. I need you to get on the hoverboard, please. Stay still. Okay, is this gonna... Okay, go. Oh, I'm stuck. Hold up. Oh god.
Don't worry, I'm coming.
How'd you go all the way back down here? Chill. Okay. Let's go. Dude, we need to go to one of the pipes, the things that, yeah, these things right here that push us up in the air. Let me get on one of those.
If I can.
I'm trying. We're so close. There we go.
I'll probably get banned for this.
Yes, there we go. Oh no. Where'd you go?
Anyways, what was I talking about before that?
Talking about the leak.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then, Captain Marvel's there, and we get to see that whole scene where Thor grabs the axe right in front of her,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah, I like this one."
I like this one.
Then it cuts to a scene where they're all inside the Benatar. Yeah, you know what the Benatar is, right? Yeah, they're all inside the Benatar, and they're like, and Rockets asks everybody, "Hey, who here's been to space?" And majority of them don't raise their hand, and he's like, "All right, looks like you guys are in for a treat," and then they go off. So yeah, that was the new footage.
Yo, I feel like I'm in Jurassic World right now in this giant ball. Oh, there's an enemy. What if I latch onto him? Yes! I latched onto him. Come on, let's go.
So Kirstin, tell me, what would you say? I want to hear your theory. What do you believe would be the way that they get out of, like, how do you think that they're gonna end up fixing everything that happened?
I don't know. Honestly, don't. I'm gonna be really upset when I die right here. Yes! No!
So do you want to hear my way? I think that they're gonna do it.
How?
Okay, so I've been hearing a lot of theories going around, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, well maybe they're gonna go and grab different versions of themselves from different time points. Okay, no, that's way too complicated. It's way too complicated for Marvel. In my opinion, they're gonna go a much more simpler route, because this movie isn't just for like science nerds and anything. This is for everybody. That's what Disney's known for. Their movies are for everybody. And for Endgame, I think they're gonna go and do a. I think they're gonna use the quantum realm and time travel. Don't get me wrong. But I think they're gonna probably go back to significant time points to stop certain, say, stones from ever being used or ever being put in the tracks of Thanos. Such as going back to the time, back to the Battle of New York. Make sure the Tesseract never gets taken by Loki. Or never gets put to Asgard, or, or maybe they go to destroy the Tesseract. Or maybe they go back to, say, right before... I think one that would be really cool to see, and it wouldn't surprise me if they do this, is they go back in time to stop the attack on Xandar right before Infinity War.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be too crazy of a change, it'd just prevent everything that happened in Infinity War. Which I feel like a lot of people would get mad at. But, I mean, there is some stuff I think would be a little bit, that would make me a little mad about that. Is like, Loki would technically still be alive, which I want Loki.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Loki being alive.
Yeah, but like, I feel like Loki's had his run, and I kind of enjoy the fact that Loki's kind of time's up. Not the fact that I hate Loki, because I don't. I think Loki's a fun character. But I feel like he's just kind of him and Nebula, except for now Nebula's a little bit better, but him and Nebula kind of had the same formula going where, they'd have the hero trust them, but then they'd again. And it got really old. Huh?
I don't like Nebula as well as I did Loki.
Yeah, but that's because Loki's charming. Nebula's just kind of boring. I do kind of want her to have her revenge, finally. Oops. I do want her to have her revenge, but, I mean, she's just not that amazing of a character. I mean, Karen Gillan is a great actress, but that's besides the point. What do you think about the whole scene where, like, Ant-Man jumps off a pencil and, like, Captain America with all, like, the dirt on his face and stuff?
Well, I like how they added the pencil, him jumping off of the pencil.
Yeah, I love some Ant-Man. I love me some good Ant-Man scenes, because, like, Ant-Man will always be, like, super funny. And they always have... Ant-Man's just one of those characters that you can really experiment with how he just does stuff. Yeah, I really like him. What about the scene with Cap?
With the mud on his face and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably gonna be towards the end.
I don't think it will be. I honestly think... They did say that this is gonna be taken from the first 15 minutes. But
Really?
though, yeah, but I'm just kind of confused on what why would why would he be so dirty in like the first
Do you
what
think it's like
15
if
minutes?
how long do you think it'll take him to get into the quantum realm?
See,
How
that's
long do you
another
think that's
thing.
gonna
That's
take?
that's another thing. I really just don't know anymore. I've lost everything. Like I mean,
Because
they confirm
if they do
because
that soon, then that
see
could be like
because
a
I feel like
flashback
they'll be
type thing.
going into the quantum realm during the second act. The second act I feel will be with the quantum realm exposition. I feel like the first act is going to be kind of a catch up, getting to see what everybody's up to, and
And getting
seeing
everybody together.
yeah, getting everybody together, getting Tony back on Earth, getting Scott out of the quantum realm, then them all going into the quantum realm to go and save the day. How in the world Scott gets out of the quantum realm, I have no idea, but I feel like it's going to be
He's
a
smart.
tough.
He did it once before.
You're right, but I feel like it's just going to be. I don't know. I really want to see, because Scott's such a comedic character, but I want to see a little bit more character progression in him, to where I want to
Yeah.
see him be kind of sad and really just kind of shocked at what happened, because all he
Yeah.
knows, he doesn't even know what happened. For all he knows, uh, Janet, Hope, and Hank could have all just like won off to go get pizza and just forgot about him. You know?
Got pizza. Forgot about it.
Because like he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know. So whenever he gets back, he doesn't even know that Thanos attacked. He doesn't even know what was
Mhm.
going on in Wakanda. He doesn't know.
Mhm.
So like whenever he gets to meet up with the Avengers, they have to fill him in on everything. He's gonna be so confused. Like in that one scene we got with him where he's looking at all the missing posters, he's gonna be so confused, wondering why
Mhm.
there's so many missing people. Like what in the
Yeah.
world just happened? Uh, another thing with like families and stuff. Another character that wasn't in Infinity War. Hawkeye's back and looking
Yeah.
awesome.
Him and Romanoff seem pretty good.
Yeah, well, I don't think of it as a romance. I think of it more as
Yeah.
how close they really are to each other, because they're such close
Yeah.
people in the comics and in the movies. Like they're very close. Like heck, his kids called her their aunt.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, and so let me ask you a question. I already know the answer to this, for like the actual real answer. But who do you think the girl that he was shooting Mercury with is?
His daughter.
You're right, it is his daughter. A lot of people are
Yeah.
saying it's Kate Bishop. I kind of want it to be Kate Bishop, but it's not. It's confirmed that it is. I think her name's Ava Russo. Ayo, Victory Royale. But Ava Russo, who is Joe Russo, one of the Russo brothers' daughter, is playing Lila uh, Lila Barton.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, uh, yeah. But do you still think it's a possibility though that we'll possibly maybe after Endgame get Kate Bishop in the MCU?
Hold up. Say that again.
Do you think it's still a possibility though that we might get Kate Bishop in the MCU eventually?
I don't know.
You do know who Kate Bishop is, right? Just making
Yes.
sure. Yeah. So, well, because a lot of people were thinking Kate Bishop was already cast. The one girl that plays the main character in 13 Reasons Why, she was cast into the game into Endgame. And so a lot of people's automatic thought was that she is going to be playing Kate Bishop, or even Tony's daughter in the future. I don't really like that one as much. I don't think we're gonna see Tony's kid unless for a long, long time. But let me ask you this. So I already have my dream of how I think the movie should end. How do you think the movie should end?
I don't know. I mean, I want. I don't want to. I hope Gamora comes back because I feel like she was way too short of a character to like die that soon.
I feel you.
Um, I don't. I hope the main core don't die. At
Like
least,
the main six.
yeah. I just don't. I hope nobody else dies. Basically,
Okay.
I hope everybody gets an ending that's.
I hope Cap
Oh
dies.
no, I don't. I
I
don't want
do.
him to die.
I mean, I don't want him to. It's still gonna be really tough for me, but I feel like it's Cap's time, and I feel like
Mm-mm.
it's time for, say, either Bucky or uh, Sam to take over. Um, Tony, I want Tony to have his happy ending. I want Tony to retire. I don't want him to die. Hulk, I think Hulk still has some story left. I don't really want him to die. Thor, heck no. Thor just got good. We're not we I, he doesn't deserve to die. Black Widow, Black Widow's one of those ones that I could see her dying, but at the same time I can't. Black Widow I'd be okay with dying, but I don't see it happening.
I don't want her to die.
Hawkeye, I think Hawkeye is another one that's kind of a safe bet that he might die.
Oh,
Everybody
poor
thought
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was going to end up dying in Age of Ultron.
Really? I
Really, I
didn't know
remember that. I really thought that Hawkeye was going to die. And remember, he almost did if it wasn't for Quicksilver.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna die.
I did. But, you know, if my dream ending for this was that that everybody comes back, uh, you know, alive except for, like, say, Gamora and Loki. Um, I want I want it to end on a very happy note of Tony
Yeah.
Stark getting his wedding that he wanted. His perfect little wedding. I want Rhodes, his best man, and I want Peter as one of his groomsmen. And yeah, I just want it to be just a nice little wedding. And I want it to be like I want it to be like a cool like kind of I don't this has been in movies before, but like I want like a cool little like cut flash between the wedding and the funeral for Steve Rogers. There's somebody here and I'm dying. But yeah, like I want it to go from like say funeral to the wedding,
He
just
crawl in
showing,
here.
huh?
Crawl in here.
You know, I want it to end on a happy note, but do remind us that Steve Rogers is now deceased. But he did it. But I think he did it. You know, you didn't get me right.
Yeah, no. There's a guy here.
Oh. But yeah, I want, because like you know, Steve is he's kind of the icon of the MCU. These past 10 years, him and Tony.
Oh! I thought I got a headshot off of. I suck. Okay, anyways, continue. Sorry.
So, I think it's his time. I think he'd be the more appropriate one to die than Tony. And I want Tony to have his nice little wedding with Pepper, to live his life and to grow old and die peacefully. I think this should be the end of Iron Man. I think Iron Man should die, but not Tony. Yeah, anything to add to that?
Mm.
So yeah. You got anything else that you want to talk about?
No.
Is there, I'm trying to think before we end this episode. Oh, let's talk about new suits. Besides the
Okay.
Quantum Realm suits, like the new costumes in general. So Iron Man. Iron Man's like the one that we haven't seen much of. With Captain America probably being the one that we've seen the most of his new suit. So from the one promo image, how do you feel about the Mark 51 or Mark 85?
I had no clue what you said. You cut out.
Oh. How do you feel about the new Iron Man suit that they're putting in Endgame? Like the one with the red and the yellow with a little bit more bulk.
Yeah. I'm not against it.
I really like it. It's supposed to be based right off the classic suit from like all the classic comics, with the way the colors are laid out. It's like a much more traditional looking, less. It's like a much more traditional looking version of the Mark 50.
Hmm.
So I really digged it. How do you feel about the scale suit for Captain America?
I like it.
I really like the scale design. It's in my opinion the best suit we've had so far. With the stealth suit from Winter Soldier coming in second.
Yeah.
And then how do you like Black Widow's new costume?
She looks nice.
I
I
like
like
the
her
new
hair.
Yeah, I really like her hair. I like how it's like, it's all red at the top and then has like the
Yeah.
little blonde at the bottom. I really like that. Cuz it like you can tell like in like say Winter or not Winter Soldier, but Iron Man 2, you can tell like her hair is so fake. Like it's so clearly dyed. This looks so real. It looks like Scarlett Johansson's hair is red with but you can like see like the blonde coming out.
Yeah.
It looks so real and I love it. And then we got like the crown jewel of all these new costumes. The Ronin suit.
Yeah.
I am in love with the Ronin design. I was
I like
really
his hair too.
Oh
His
dude,
mohawk.
he has such a cool hairstyle. Like I was really not expecting to see because the Ronin costume in the comics is nothing like how the suit looked like in the movie version is different from the comic version. It's not like I was expecting it to be like, oh, it's just Hawkeye, but he's wearing black and gold instead of black and purple.
Mhm.
Because Hawkeye hasn't had really that great of suits. I mean, he had that vest in Avengers, and then he had like I think his best suit before this was probably Civil War, which was the last time we saw him, where he had a lot more purple.
Yeah.
And I like a lot more purple on him, or a lot more red. I did not like the long jacket that he had in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Yeah.
weird. Whenever I'm like designing a suit for like say a drawing or something, I always like to try to think about it as the most useful to them. Why doesn't Spider-Man fly around or swing around in like armor? Because it's not practical at all. If he can dodge and
Yeah.
he has Spidey sense, he doesn't need armor. It'll
Yeah.
cause him to be more weightful, which will cause more strain on his arm, which will make him more tired and less, uh, you know, fast and all that stuff. Why
Yeah.
doesn't while somebody like Tony Stark, Iron Man, he relies on those. He needs the armor to be able to fight crime. So
Hmm.
with Hawkeye, I like how it has these shoulder pads on it that look like a is it called a kimono? No, no, not a kimono. God no, not a kimono. Uh, this is hold on. Let me look up what is the name for like a karate outfit? A gi. It kind of reminds me of like the gis that like people who do stuff like they wear, martial artists wear, because the way it like kind of bows down and kind of hangs a little bit over the shoulders, but while he still
Yeah.
has like a big strap going over his chest with this to hold a sword, which it really surprises me that he'll be using a sword, and I love the like new like arm armor and the shin armor with the knee plates. It's really practical for his sword to be able to block sword attacks. Using it, it's a lot like the little fins on Batman's gauntlet. So yeah, it's very nice to see them do, and like the mask is even straight from the comics, except instead of having like wide eyes, he just has a eye hole, and I like that. It's taken straight from the comics, except like I said, the eyes and now it has a hood, and I really like it. Also, he doesn't have nunchucks, but I can get over that. They gave us at least a sword, which is cool. And the Hulk. Hulk's a good one. We have yet to even see Hulk in any of the trailers or
Yeah, all we
TV
saw was
spots.
just Bruce.
Yeah, and it even surprises me that we got Hulk, that we didn't even get Hulk on the poster.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, we'll be seeing a lot more Hulk in this movie than in Infinity War, but in Infinity War, he still was on the poster.
Maybe it's just because they wanted to have a surprise show out. You know?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me with that. But, like, I don't know. Bruce Banner is not what, you know, kids look for. They're like, oh, look for the Hulk. But I feel like Bruce Banner is such a good character now. With the writing from, I'm not even going to try to attempt his name, but the guy that directed Thor Ragnarok, Waititi, I think is his last name. He did such a good job making the character so good, and then the Russos did him justice again. So yeah, I feel like Bruce Banner kind of deserves it. You know, he's really on a good journey right now. He was the one that warned everybody about Thanos. If it wasn't for him, the Avengers probably wouldn't even had that much of a fight. Heck, there probably wouldn't have even been a fight. But yeah, who else am I missing here? Rocket. Rocket has a
raccoon.
Dude, Rocket's new look. If you look at that thing like up close, it is literally taken straight from the comics. Except now he has like a. By the way, but except now he has he has goggles on. A little different, but I like it because I think it fits his character. And I'm really excited to see Rocket's new arc without the Guardians. And Rocket's always been personally my favorite of the whole group. Because you know he's smart, he's witty, he's kind of a jerk, but he doesn't mean to be. That's just who he is. You know, and he really learned a lot about himself through Yondu. In Volume 2. And I'm just really excited to see how his arc will really play into the anime story.
Yeah, I think he'll fit in just perfectly.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him get along, like see him. Speaking of the person he was with in the trailer, War Machine packing the heat. That armor is huge. Like, I don't know if we're actually, because from the LEGO leak, we're supposed to be getting a War Machine Buster, but from what it looks like, that thing is still huge on its own. So yeah, it looks absolutely stellar. I love it.
Wait.
Hold on. So yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave it off there. Tell us down in the comments below what you guys think about the upcoming Avengers Endgame movie. We might talk more about this. Sorry about that. Somebody walked in and scared me. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Top Shelf Podcast. We'll talk to you guys next time. Subscribe, leave a like, whatever. This is Artimus.